When Close Encounters of the Third Kind hit theaters in 1977, audiences thought they were watching a standalone sci-fi masterpiece. But hidden beneath its glowing lights and mysterious tones lies a secret web of connections to another galaxy far, far away. Steven Spielberg and George Lucas weren't just friends, they were cosmic collaborators. Number 1. The two films were originally one idea. Before Star Wars ever blasted off, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg were dreaming together. In the early 1970s, the two young filmmakers talked about making one massive sci-fi adventure called Watch the Skies, a story about humans encountering beings from the stars. But as their ideas evolved, they split paths. Lucas chased the stars themselves, while Spielberg looked at what would happen if the stars came to us. Those two visions became Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. One became mythic space opera, the other spiritual science fiction. It's crazy to think that two of the greatest sci-fi films ever made, so different in tone, world, and emotion, were once born from the same creative spark. One dream divided into two galaxies. Number 2. Spielberg snuck Star Wars toys into his home movie cut. While Close Encounters was still in editing, Spielberg's team needed temporary UFO shots to test timing and pacing. So what did they do? They grabbed early Star Wars model kits, X-Wings and TIE fighters, and used them as stand-ins for alien ships. These weren't Easter eggs for audiences, they were private jokes between two best friends working on the biggest sci-fi films of their lives. Somewhere in Spielberg's private archives, those test reels still exist. Close Encounters ships literally replaced by Star Wars toys. It's proof of how closely their worlds overlap behind the scenes, both fueled by imagination, friendship, and the thrill of building entire universes from scratch. And this playful crossover isn't the only connection. In fact, number 11, you'll see how the very same team that built those Star Wars miniatures went on to craft the iconic Close Encounters mothership itself. Number 3, the UFOs foreshadow Star Wars spiritual themes. The heart of Close Encounters isn't science, it's faith. When the glowing mothership rises over Devil's Tower, it's treated almost like a holy vision. Lucas watched early cuts of Close Encounters and was moved by how Spielberg turned alien contact into a spiritual awakening. It made him rethink the Force, not as just energy or magic, but as something emotional, mysterious, and deeply human. That shift shaped The Empire Strikes Back, giving it its mythic soul. So when you see Luke reach out to feel the Force, remember this: the quiet awe of Close Encounters helped shape that moment. The two films speak the same cosmic language: wonder. Number 4, shared sound designers and the same sound effects library. The auditory magic in both films wasn't accidental. Ben Burtt, who created R2-D2's expressive beeps and the hum of the Death Star, worked closely with Spielberg to craft the alien sounds in Close Encounters. Many of the same sound libraries and techniques, the hums, the blips, the oscillating tones, were reused. That means the sonic fabric of both movies is intertwined. Listen carefully. The vibrations of the UFOs echo subtle hints of TIE fighters, and some ambient hums carry the same resonance as lightsabers. The invisible thread of sound gives audiences a subliminal connection between the two worlds. Even without knowing it, we feel continuity. A shared sci-fi language created by the same sonic wizards. It's proof that collaboration, not competition, defined their era. Number 5, Spielberg reused Star Wars' used future texture. Most sci-fi movies before 1977 looked too clean. Shiny ships, spotless labs, and perfect uniforms. Then Star Wars changed everything. George Lucas introduced the used future, a universe full of dirt, dents, and grease. A world that felt lived in. Spielberg noticed, and when filming Close Encounters, he brought that same texture down to Earth. Look at the electrical substations, the muddy roads, the dusty homes. Everything feels worn, human, imperfect. That rough realism made the UFOs even more awe-inspiring because they appeared in our flawed, everyday world. It grounded fantasy in something tactile. By blending Lucas's grit with his own sense of wonder, Spielberg made the extraordinary feel real and the real feel extraordinary. And those textures are just the start. In Fact 14, you'll see how the very same visual DNA inspired the hypnotic, star-field-like light patterns that make the UFOs communicate with breathtaking beauty. Number 6, the alien language scene uses Star Wars audio tricks. That iconic 5-note musical exchange between humans and aliens isn't just emotional, it's a technical marvel. Spielberg's team used the same sound wizard as Star Wars, Ben Burtt, the man behind R2-D2's voice. To make the alien language, Burtt used frequency modulation, the same process that gave R2 his expressive beeps and whistles. Each note was digitally bent, layered, and made to sound alive, almost like a voice trying to reach across galaxies. The result is a scene that feels both scientific and spiritual, like music as communication. You're not just hearing tones, you're hearing emotion, curiosity, and trust. In a way, the aliens spoke to us the same way R2 spoke to Luke, through pure feeling. Number 7, I Am Built the UFOs. Industrial Light and Magic, George Lucas's legendary effects house, didn't just build the Millennium Falcon. They built the UFOs in Close Encounters too. Spielberg hired ILM right after they finished Star Wars. The same modelers, matte painters, and lighting experts constructed both sets of ships, sometimes using the same materials and rigs. Some UFO panels were even made from leftover Falcon moldings. That's why the ships in Close Encounters have that same tactile realism, glowing yet mechanical, alien yet familiar. The collaboration blurred the line between both universes. It made sci-fi feel real for the first time. The audience didn't see miniatures. They saw belief. It's poetic that Lucas's own company helped bring Spielberg's vision of peaceful contact to life. 2 films, 1 dream factory. Number 8. Lucas and Spielberg shot their climaxes the same month. Late 1976. 2 movie sets, 2 legends working in sync. While George Lucas filmed the Death Star trench run in England, Spielberg was in Alabama shooting the breathtaking UFO landing scene. Both used ILM's new motion control camera system, the Dijkstraflex, which made realistic spaceship movement possible for the first time. The timing wasn't coincidence. ILM's crew bounced between both projects, fine-tuning camera rigs by day and flying models by night. Imagine it. One team crafting dogfights in space, another crafting first contact on Earth, the same technology fueling 2 entirely different dreams. Those parallel shoots captured the same emotion: awe, speed, light, discovery. In a single month, science fiction grew up twice, and that parallel genius didn't stop at visuals. In Fact 17, you'll see how John Williams captured both universes in music, turning spaceships, lights, and first contact into pure emotion. Number 9. The mothership's shape. Hints at the Millennium Falcon. When the mothership finally descends over Devil's Tower, its glowing disk seems unlike anything else in cinema, but look closer. Its wide circular body, layered panels, and ring of lights mirror Ralph McQuarrie's early concept art for the Millennium Falcon. Both designs came from the same creative universe, ILM's model makers, who jumped from Star Wars straight into Close Encounters. They even used spare plastic parts from Falcon prototypes to decorate the mothership's surface. The result feels cosmic, one ship born from another's blueprint. Where Han Solo's Falcon represented rebellion and speed, Spielberg's mothership represented peace and unity. 2 sides of the same dream, humans reaching for the stars, one with guns, the other with music. Number 10. Spielberg originally wanted to direct a space opera too. Before Close Encounters became about mysterious lights and human longing, Spielberg had a very different idea. He wanted to make his own space opera, a wild adventure among the stars. Around 1974, he even wrote story notes for a movie about space battles and alien civilizations. But when he heard Lucas was already deep into Star Wars, Spielberg changed direction. Instead of outer space, he turned inward to how humanity would emotionally react to life beyond Earth. That decision gave birth to Close Encounters, a movie less about lasers and more about faith, obsession, and contact. Ironically, by stepping back from Lucas's genre, Spielberg created something just as epic but rooted in wonder instead of war. Did you know that more than 90% of the people watching this video haven't subscribed to the channel? It may not seem important, but here's the thing. More subscribers means we're able to notify more people when a new Hidden Connection video drops. More views equals more profits for the channel, and maybe the channel owner might just use those profits to drop my sloppy AI voice and get a real VO artist. Maybe she won't. Maybe she'll go to Barbados. But maybe she'll take you with her. For a quick flick of a button and guaranteed movie Easter eggs, it's worth a gamble. So get yourself subscribed. Number 11. The same post-production team at ILM. Remember those Star Wars toys Spielberg used back in number 2? That was just the beginning of ILM's influence crossing over into Close Encounters. Industrial Light and Magic, George Lucas's effects studio, was the invisible bridge between Star Wars and Close Encounters. After finishing A New Hope, ILM's exhausted team jumped straight into Spielberg's project. Model builders, matte painters, and compositors all carried over, bringing their tricks, their hardware, and their instincts. That's why both films have that same glowy, dreamlike energy. Ships floating like ghosts, light blooming like divine fire. You can even spot ILM signatures, the cloud composites, lens flares, and subtle miniatures that make the ships look massive. It's not just technical overlap, it's artistic DNA. The same crew that built the Death Star also built the mothership. The tools changed, the magic didn't. Number 12. Douglas Trumbull used Star Wars motion control tech. Before Star Wars, spaceship shots were static, models dangling on wires, frozen against star backdrops. Then George Lucas's team invented the Dijkstraflex, a computer-controlled camera rig that moved with pinpoint precision. Douglas Trumbull, the visual effects legend behind Close Encounters, borrowed that same system to bring the UFOs to life. The Dijkstraflex allowed Spielberg to choreograph impossible moves, ships weaving, darting, and dancing through clouds like real living things. Those fluid motions made the UFOs feel intelligent, emotional, almost graceful. The same machine that filmed X-Wings screaming across the Death Star also filmed alien lights swirling in the night. It's a poetic overlap. Technology born for war, repurposed for peace. Number 13. The Devil's Tower scene mirrors the Death Star arrival. In Close Encounters, the moment the mothership rises behind Devil's Tower feels impossibly grand. That mix of awe and fear only Spielberg can create. But here's the hidden trick. It mirrors one of cinema's greatest sci-fi shots. Both Spielberg and Lucas filmed their climaxes the same way. Massive, slow, deliberate reveals of power. When the Death Star first looms over the Rebel base, it's not just a space station. It's dominance, cold and godlike. Devil's Tower flips that energy. Wonder instead of terror. Both scenes use the same composition. Wide frame, small humans, overwhelming light to remind us of our place in the universe. Lucas shows our fear of control. Spielberg shows our longing for connection. Two sides of the same emotion, cosmic smallness. Number 14. The light patterns resemble Star Wars starfields. Remember that tactile, lived-in texture Spielberg borrowed from Lucas back in Fact 5? That same eye for detail carried over to how the UFOs glow and blink. Each light a tiny star, a pulse of communication. Those hypnotic blinking lights from the UFOs in Close Encounters aren't random decoration. They were directly inspired by the speed blur of hyperspace and the starfields in Star Wars. The visual language of light was something both directors obsessed over. Lucas used stars as movement, endless travel, endless war. Spielberg used them as communication, the hope that someone, somewhere, is listening. Both teams shared cinematographers, colorists, and even optical technicians. When Spielberg saw early test reels of Star Wars space shots, he borrowed the same multi-layer light compositing technique to make his UFOs glow with impossible depth. So when you watch those 5-tone lights blink across Devil's Tower, you're really watching the same cinematic DNA, the birth of visual spirituality in science fiction. Number 15. Both movies reimagined the alien First Contact myth. Before 1977, alien stories were about fear, invasion, cold wars, monsters in the dark. But Star Wars and Close Encounters changed that forever. Lucas showed us humans already living in the galaxy, part of something bigger, where aliens were equals, not enemies. Spielberg flipped it. Humanity's first handshake with the stars. Both rewrote the myth of what aliens mean to us. This wasn't science fiction anymore. It was spirituality dressed as cinema. Lucas gave us destiny. Spielberg gave us curiosity. Together, they made audiences stop fearing the unknown and start yearning for it. They took humanity's old fear of the other and replaced it with something deeply emotional, belonging, two sides of the same faith, that maybe, just maybe, the universe is reaching back. Number 16, François Truffaut's role was a Lucas tribute. When French director François Truffaut appeared in Close Encounters as the kind, soft-spoken scientist Claude Lacombe, most audiences didn't realize it. But it was Spielberg's tribute to George Lucas's heroes. Lucas had been deeply influenced by the French New Wave filmmakers, especially Truffaut and Jean-Luc Godard. Their handheld cameras, natural dialogue, and bold cuts inspired Lucas's raw, emotional style in THX 1138 and American Graffiti. By casting Truffaut, Spielberg wasn't just honoring cinema history, he was honoring the man who inspired his best friend. It's poetic, a French auteur playing a scientist searching for alien contact, just as his art once helped two young dreamers reach the stars. One film pays homage to the roots of another, a friendship layered in film history. Number 17. John Williams composed both scores in the same year. Remember the simultaneous climaxes back in Fact 8? That same month saw not only visuals but sound reaching new heights, as John Williams composed scores for both Star Wars and Close Encounters. 1977 was John Williams' busiest year. He composed the legendary heroic Star Wars score and immediately pivoted to the ethereal, awe-inspiring soundtrack of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. In Star Wars, his music pumps adrenaline. Lightsabers clash, ships soar, heroes rise. In Close Encounters, it hums with mystery. 5 magical tones communicate with aliens, creating a bridge between humanity and the unknown. Williams' genius was making both worlds emotionally distinct, yet connected. They define how we feel sci-fi. His music turned ships into characters and lights into language. That one composer shaped 2 universes in a single year, cementing the emotional DNA of modern science fiction. Watching either film without his music would feel hollow. With it, you believe in heroes, aliens, and the infinite possibility of wonder. Number 18. Both films share the same cinematographer's crew. Great lighting makes great movies, and both Star Wars and Close Encounters glowed with the same magic touch. Cinematographer Vilmos Zsigmond, working with Spielberg, borrowed crew members and gear from Lucas's team who had just finished shooting Star Wars pickup scenes in England. They brought with them a new style of lighting, realistic, smoky, industrial, a look that made sci-fi feel grounded in our world. The result? Spaceships that looked real, night skies that felt alive, Even the flash of headlights and UFO beams in Close Encounters carry that same gritty realism. Two separate worlds, one visual language. That shared crew made sure both films didn't just look futuristic, they looked believable. Number 19, Spielberg and Lucas swapped percentages of their films. When both films were in production, Spielberg and Lucas didn't just share ideas, they shared stakes. The story goes, Spielberg believed in Star Wars so much that he agreed to take 2.5% of its profits. Lucas, trusting Close Encounters, returned the favor. That handshake deal wasn't trivial, it cemented a friendship and turned into a fortune. Spielberg earned tens of millions from Lucas's blockbuster. Lucas benefited from Spielberg's hit. It wasn't just financial, it was creative trust. Both directors knew they were breaking new ground together, and this agreement symbolized that bond. It's one of the rare Hollywood deals made purely on friendship, faith, and mutual respect. A reminder that even in an industry driven by money, collaboration can produce legendary art. Number 20, R2-D2 is literally on the mothership. Yes, you heard that right. Hidden upside down on the alien mothership's hull is R2-D2, the galaxy's most beloved droid. Spielberg asked ILM to sneak the Easter egg as a playful nod to his best friend, George Lucas. The droid is tiny, subtle, and almost impossible to spot without pausing the frame, but it's there. A literal crossover of two universes. This isn't just a joke, it symbolizes their friendship, collaboration, and shared creativity. The galaxy far, far away is quietly watching over Close Encounters. Fans who notice it experience a secret thrill, a reminder that these films weren't competitors, but part of a larger cinematic conversation. R2-D2 on the mothership is proof that even in different worlds, these filmmakers were never really apart. And because you're the best subscribers on YouTube, here's a bonus fact. The shared finale idea, humanity meets the unknown. Both Close Encounters and Star Wars end with humanity stepping into something larger than themselves. In Star Wars, Luke soars through the stars, leaving home behind to embrace destiny. In Close Encounters, Roy walks toward the mothership, vanishing into light, leaving his old life forever. This wasn't accidental. Lucas and Spielberg discussed the emotional power of ascension, of leaving the familiar for awe. It's more than a visual parallel. Both finales capture a universal human longing to connect, to explore, to believe in something bigger. The awe we feel isn't just cinematic, it's existential. Even decades later, audiences watch these final moments and feel the pull of the universe reaching back for us. From hidden droids to shared crews, musical geniuses, and cosmic Easter eggs, Close Encounters and Star Wars are more intertwined than anyone ever realized. Two filmmakers, one friendship, and two masterpieces that shape the way we imagine the stars. If this blew your mind, don't stop here. Dive deeper into the universe of cinematic secrets. Check out our full videos on Close Encounters and Star Wars. You'll see the lights, the ships, and the magic in a whole new way. Remember, the universe is bigger than it seems, and sometimes the greatest discoveries are arriving on a screen in front of you right now.
Wow, that was weird.